Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Touchdown Tech. This is episode 12. Today we're going to be recapping the Eastern Illinois game as well as previewing the big one, the Kentucky game this Saturday.
The big game.
Yep.
The head honcho of games. You know, we've been waiting on this one all year.
Yeah.
We're excited because, you know, when we started the season, we were like, is Kentucky going to be good? Or not, is Tennessee Tech going to be good? Mm-hmm. How good will they be by this point? We didn't expect 10-0.
Yeah.
I think that's the elephant in the room is we beat Eastern Illinois. We're 10-0, 21-9. You know, it was a slower game. We scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, but we managed to claw our way back. He had a Theron Gain touchdown there at the end. So
yeah, that was a huge play. Like you said, offense started out pretty hot. Got up 14-0 early. Kadarius Jennings touchdown run. Maury Sullivan ridiculous play on the sideline. Caught it over a defender. Scored. Ran all the way down the sideline. It was just an amazing play by him individually to keep his balance and make that play. And yeah, the offense from then on out kind of fizzled out a little bit, but the defense stayed strong. I thought one thing that I really noticed in the Eastern Illinois game is that they had a really good game plan for Cole LaCrue, the running quarterback that Eastern Illinois had. They had a really good game plan for him. They kept him under wraps. He didn't have, but like maybe he had less than 50 yards rushing. So that's really hard to do against a guy like him who is known for running the football. But yeah. I feel like they had a good game plan for him. They didn't let him beat them on the ground. And like you said, the Theron Gaines play was a huge play. The quarterback kind of bobbled the ball and just lost control of it. But Theron was in the right place at the right time, and he scooped it up and scored off of it. So that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, when you can keep a handle on a dual-threat quarterback like Cole LaCrue, that's good.
Yeah.
Defense coordinator definitely game planned for him. They were definitely, keeping an eye out on him. I don't know what kind of stuff they were running. Was it like contain or quarterback, stuff like that? But they held him. They held him good. They only allowed him to run for 48 yards.
Right.
They did exactly what they needed to. And it was a tough game because Eastern Illinois was really trying to keep the ball away from Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to keep it out of our offense's hand as much as possible, which is just not a good game plan when you're going against the number one scoring team in the country. Eventually, they're going to score.
Yeah.
So I just don't think Eastern Illinois had the proper game plan to handle Tech. Tech gets out with the win.
They tried to do what Gardner Webb did. You know what I mean? Gardner Webb was able to hold that ball all game long. I think the time of possession was like 40 minutes for Gardner Webb and 20 for us. It was a huge differential. That's about as lopsided as I've seen it, especially in a game where Tennessee Tech won the football game. That's hard to do when you only get the ball for 20 minutes. But, Eastern Illinois tried to have that same approach, but it just – the defense got off the field. That's what it was. It was more so that the defense was able to get off the field on third down and not let them sustain that drive for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like you said, it was a little sloppy at times. We're not going to, sugarcoat it. But at the end of the day, you went on the road and you got to win in OVC when you're still undefeated in the conference, which is another thing that's important as well.
Yeah, road games are always hard for any team. It's not just a Tech issue.
Mm-hmm.
Road games are always tough. They handled it. And we've seen Tech, they've had a rough time on the road, especially when you're going up to Illinois. I would hate to be on a bus ride all the way to Illinois and then have to play. But they managed it and they handled it well. They overcame the adversity. They're a very mature team. They know how to handle this stuff. Wilder loves saying these guys are mature. They're older. They know how to handle their own business. Mm-hmm. They know how to adjust on the fly. They're not letting the egos get into their head. They're not arguing on the sideline. So when you have a slower game, they're fine.
Yeah, it was just kind of a ho-hum game, but Tech got the win ultimately. They're 10-0 for the first time in program history. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can only say so much about it at this point. We've talked about him a lot over the course of the year, and we've had a lot of praise for him, and so that's kind of a given. But like when you finally accomplish it and you finally do get to that 10-0 spot, and you solidify yourself as not only one of the better teams in Tech football history, but probably the best.
Yeah,
you're in that conversation when you win 10 games in a row like that.
Yeah, that is a real conversation to have. Is this team is potentially and honestly probably the best Tech football team that has ever come through this university.
Yeah, they got my vote. I know that for sure.
Absolutely.
They're just loaded from top to bottom. I know one guy who I am a pretty big fan of that was a big get in the transfer portal. You guys already know from the thumbnail and the title both. We got Chima Iwuagwu on the show. We're going to go ahead and cut to that interview right now. Here with Tennessee Tech defensive tackle Chima Iwuagwu. Chima, appreciate you coming on the show, man.
For sure.
Did I say that name right?
Iwuagwu, yeah.
Let's go.
Nice.
First try, baby. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, Chima. First question, I ask all the transfer guys this. What made you choose Tech?
So when I first, it was really the recruiting process that got me here. So when I first hopped in the portal, I hopped in a little early, but like the day after the portal opened, the day of the portal opened actually, Coach Sam, he calls me and he talks to me. He says how much they like me and stuff, and that was my offer. I'm all right, cool. I had talked to a few other schools like right after that. Like I was in the portal for probably 5 days, and I picked up a decent amount of offers. But on top of that, they were setting up visits pretty fast, and I didn't get my visit set up here until I don't know the specific date, but it was a random like Friday. It was before Easter.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And Coach Muma, our DC, he calls me. He's like, hey, what are you doing on Monday? I'm like, I have this visit. He's like, what are you doing after your test on Wednesday? Because I had a final on Wednesday. He was like, I was like, I have another visit. He was like, what are you doing right now? I'm in my kitchen. He's like, let's get you on a visit right now.
There you go.
I was like, okay. I thought he was lying.
Yeah.
He called me back in like 15 minutes. He's like, all right, your flight leaves at like 12:30. Just be ready to go. I'm like, all right. So got me up here, took me through the process. I was bought in. I trusted Bobby a lot. That was my guy. And I just committed because I was like, it feels like home. Like something was pulling me towards you, and I called my mom. My mom liked it too. She wasn't on the visit, but like she doesn't like me being outside of the state of Texas. But I told her I was in Tennessee. She was like, all for it. So it's a few things.
That's cool, man. I like that story. That's a cool recruiting tactic. It's like, hey, what are you doing right now? We're going to get you on a visit right now. That's
I was in the
crazy.
middle of making like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I love PB&J, dude. I could tear those, man.
Yeah,
anyway, back to football. How is this season compared to the past seasons that you've played? Like we mentioned it earlier, just before the cameras were on, just the crazy 10-0 start. How does this season compare to the others that you've played in?
Oh, man. I think this team, it's more the team than the record. I think this is the tightest I've ever been on, like a team. Everyone's real cool with each other. I talk to the quarterback, the O-linemen, the running backs. I talk to everyone on offense just as much as I talk to everyone on defense. And it's like vice versa for everyone. It's just like a real big camaraderie, family type beat on the team.
I love that. And the next question I got for you is, you're the second defensive lineman that we've had on the podcast, back-to-back weeks. We got your boy Mo on here last week. You know what I'm saying? What about Coach Williamson? You already mentioned him already. What does he say to you guys? Like, how is that relationship like with him and you guys as a D-line group?
I love Coach Sam, man. He tells it to us how it is. Yeah. So there's no like gray areas. So there's no like, oh, I don't know. It's like, for sure. And he just he prides himself on that. So I like that person. I know a lot of our guys like that as well. So I think that's why I like him the most.
100%. A straight shooter. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I agree with that 100%. So I told you this earlier. I got a hold of this what is it? The Lexington Herald Leader. It's like a news source in Kentucky, and they broke down like the matchup, Tennessee Tech versus Kentucky. They broke down the whole thing. They mentioned you because they were going position by position, and I scrolled down to the defensive line. I'm gonna read you this quote, then I want you to just tell me like how you feel. So I got tight ends, offensive line, defensive line. Tennessee Tech defensive tackle Chima Iwuagwu is disruptive. The 6'1", 265-pound super senior has 25 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and has sacked opposing quarterbacks 8 times. 8 times in this year? Dang. And has recovered a fumble and broken up a pass. What do you think about that? Like a Kentucky-based site is bragging on you, bro.
That's cool. I can't lie. Like, that's cool, bro. I'm not 265, though. I haven't been 265 since, like, freshman year of college.
I feel that.
But that's awesome, bro. I can't lie. So I'm gonna need the link. For sure.
I got you for sure.
That's hard.
I think that's cool. I wanted to read that to the viewers and listeners and stuff and see what you thought about that.
That's super cool.
Yeah, you that guy, man. All right, we're gonna get Adam on, and then we'll go to the regular scheduled programming.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's my turn to ask Chima a few questions. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm okay. We had a few technical difficulties before the show started, but we're all right. We're doing okay, man. So my first question for you is, besides the game itself, what's your favorite part of playing football?
Ooh. I think team bonding. Like, my roommate, he's another D-lineman. We're real cool. I'm cool with all the D-linemen. My neighbor is Theron. Yeah. So I talk to Theron a lot. I think the friends I'm meeting consistently are, like, getting closer to every day outside of football for sure. Those guys are cool.
That brotherhood kind of thing that everyone always talks about.
Yes. They travel. I love traveling.
Oh, really?
I'm a big traveler.
You loved going to Eastern Illinois?
Probably my least favorite trip.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it. I think my favorite trip might have been Lindenwood, because we stayed in St. Louis. We stayed downtown St. Louis, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Y'all get to go out a little bit?
Yeah, we went to the, what's it called? The Arc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's much in Eastern Illinois, to be honest.
Nah.
I don't think there would be much out there. You excited to go to Lexington?
I'm more than excited. I've been looking forward to this game all year.
Yeah. You got any plans?
As far as like being there?
Yeah. You planning anything with the boys? Heading out? Gonna have some fun? Go to an arcade?
Just kind of being where my feet are. I think when we get there, we're just kind of might just do stuff in the hotel.
Yeah.
But I know my cousin's gonna come down, so I might try to talk to them, see them. But other than that, nah.
All right. And overall, how are you feeling about Kentucky? How are you feeling about going up there? How you feel about playing them? What's kind of the vibe heading into the game?
I mean, it's an SEC opponent. We have this big philosophy: respect all, fear none. And I think that's kind of the same case for Kentucky. They're a good team, like I said, SEC program. But we're also a 10-0 team, like the number one scoring offense in America. I don't want to say it's another business day, but we're going to treat it as if it's just another business day.
Yeah, got to respect every opponent.
Yeah, for sure.
But they should respect y'all. I think they are a little scared. If I was Kentucky, I've been seeing all the posts from like on Instagram accounts where it's like Kentucky's about to face a 10-0 FCS team. I would be a little nervous, but I'm sure they're game planning pretty well. But I don't think they can handle y'all the way they think they are.
I hope they give us their best game.
Yeah, I think that would be the best. That's just good football though.
No, for sure.
Getting to see the best game from each side.
For sure. I think that would be electric. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
So my final question for you is: what has been your personal favorite moment for the season?
The Gardner-Webb game. That was probably the best game I think we played all year. It started off rocky for sure, but I mean, no one started pointing fingers. No one was like, "Oh, because of this happened." We kind of just came closer together as a team and played better football.
Yeah, me and Tyler were at that game. We were taking video and pictures and all that, and that was the first moment of the season where it looked like y'all had got punched in the mouth a little bit. That old saying. But y'all handled it so well. And, when we talked to Wilder, he talked about how guys on the team, they're older, they're a lot more mature. And I think that's the reason that y'all were able to claw your way back into that game.
For sure, absolutely. And then, he has a saying, or I don't know if it's him or DC, I kind of forget. I think it's Muma. He has a saying, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And, we had a whole week of preparation, stuff like that, and, we fumbled kickoff. That wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
So, just have to go from there.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome, things like that. But y'all managed to handle it pretty well. Y'all overcame adversity. I think that game is a good way to, or it's, y'all played Eastern Illinois, but having that game before y'all go into Kentucky will really help y'all because y'all have been down. Y'all have had those rocky starts. So I think no matter what happens to Kentucky, y'all are ready.
Absolutely. I think so too. Another big moment, I was just thinking about it. I really like the SEMO game. I was a big fan of the SEMO game because I think that was high intensity football. I think Gardner-Webb was great football. That was true dealing with adversity. But SEMO was all right, it's us obviously it's really versus them. They're talking a lot. We're playing a lot. I enjoyed playing that game a lot.
Oh, SEMO likes to talk, huh?
Yes.
Breaking news, SEMO likes to talk a little bit of trash.
Well, that was definitely my favorite game for sure.
Yeah. I could imagine. I know when temperatures get a little hot and people start talking a little bit, a little smack talk. It gets intense, but sometimes it's good. I've played sports my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't exactly like when people talk trash to me because they're being a little disrespectful, but I do like it because it makes me want to play a little bit better.
Yeah. I personally love it. I can't lie. Yeah. I'm a big fan of it. Usually when offensive lines don't say anything to me, I kind of get discouraged. I'm like, dang, I might suck.
Yeah.
But the moment they say anything, I take it and run with it. The longest smile.
You're under their skin at that point.
I try to be.
Yeah. But you've been under O-lineman's skin and you've been in their backfield all season.
I appreciate it.
I think that's a good way to end this interview, man. You've been a great guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're going to cut it back to our regularly scheduled programming.
And we're back. Chima, man, just a good guy.
Great guy. Very cheerful, very happy. Got a lot of personality to him. Yeah. I like that guy.
That was a fun interview. It was good to just chop it up with him for a little bit. It didn't feel like a podcast. It just felt like we were just talking to him. Just normal. So those are the best kind. He actually reached out to us to get on the show.
That's always nice.
Yeah. It's got a little something extra when you reach out to us and you're like, hey, get me on the show. So that was fun. So, to any players watching, I mean, Chima he laid out the blueprint for you guys. If y'all want to be on the show, just DM us. That's all you got to do.
You ain't got to ask, you ain't got to beg, you ain't got to do nothing. All you got to say is, I want to be on the show.
Yeah.
We'll go see you in the podcast studio.
Yeah. Most likely, there's a 90% chance we'll get you in, unless this equipment breaks again. Just tears up. Go ahead and tell them the fiasco we've been in today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just kind of relax for a minute.
This episode's coming out pretty late tonight. Right now we're recording. This is our third time recording because we recorded one episode, and about the end of the episode we get breaking news. We're getting Chima Iwuagwu in the studio.
Yeah.
So we planned on transitioning to that at the very end of the episode. Mm-hmm. They get here. He comes in. He's ready to get interviewed. Right as we get done recording, the file corrupts. Not enough storage space.
Oh.
It was so bad, but it kind of worked out because then we got to refocus the episode into our more regular kind of style. Mm-hmm. So we get Chima in, interview goes great guy, everything records smoothly.
Yeah,
we send him on his way, let him go do his thing. We get ready to record second take. This one is what upsets us. We were worried about storage space again, so we recorded to a different storage device.
Yeah.
And the thing cut our clip up into 40 segments that we could not piece together.
Yeah, it was like 40 different clips of 20 seconds each. So there's no way to mash that stuff up and make it flow smoothly. So like, we did you guys a favor. We didn't post that because it would have just been cut after cut after cut after cut. You would have had a hard time piecing together what we're even talking about. Yeah. So hopefully this episode goes well and we can actually put this up.
Hopefully. This is our third time. This is the most we've ever had to re-record an episode.
Yeah.
This is the latest we've ever had to record an episode.
Yeah.
It's not fun. We're trying to get through it for y'all because we want to bring you the Tennessee Tech content. We want to bring you the football team. We want to show you, and we want to preview Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Well, in years past, I'll go ahead and get off on a soapbox right here. Yeah. In years past, we've had some podcasts together, and we would have said, you know what, we'll just get it tomorrow, or we may even skip this episode.
Yeah.
We're not in a spot right now where we can skip an episode.
No.
We have people that are, I won't say rely on this podcast, but that are expecting a weekly episode each
week. Like it. You know
what I mean? And it would do an injustice to Chima to go sit here and take time out of his day and talk to us and us not post the episode. So now it's a good spot that we're in. We're grateful and blessed to be in the spot we're in to be able to, crank out these episodes for you guys. But sometimes the technology can really hurt you.
It kills the vibe. It really does. We came into this episode. We were ready to get it done. We were ready to recap Eastern Illinois because we mentioned this in the first two takes, but we haven't mentioned it in this one because we are just so out of it. We got credentials to go to Kentucky.
That's right. Yeah, so we're going to Lexington.
We're going to Lexington. We're going to be at Kroger Field taking photos and videos. So we'll have that for you next week. But this week, it's just, we announced that twice. This is the third time we're announcing it. So that's, we had to get all this stuff done. It was just it's been such a pain, but we're getting through it for y'all because we love you.
Yeah, 100%. We love the fans, and we would be nowhere. We wouldn't have this without any viewers and listeners and stuff. And so we're grateful for you guys to watch and listen to us talk about whatever and basically complain about the technical issues that we're having today. But if there's not enough energy for this episode, we apologize.
We are very sorry.
We're getting pretty fatigued. I'm not going to lie. It's fourth quarter. You know what I mean? We got to dig deep right here.
It's fifth quarter. It's overtime.
It's overtime. It's probably the third overtime. Yeah. You know what I mean? We just the teams can't separate themselves. But we're gonna win the game. Trust me. Touchdown Tech's not going to lose this.
You know who might win a game on Saturday? Tennessee Tech.
They might.
They got a real shot against
Who do they play again?
Oh, just the University of Kentucky.
Oh, the basketball school?
Yeah, the basketball school. they're barely a basketball school nowadays.
I know.
But, we're playing Kentucky. It's, you would think FCS school going against an FBS school, especially an SEC team, not a great chance. Usually in games like that, ESPN will give them about a 0.1% chance to win.
Yeah.
Tech's got a 5.5. I like those odds.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. There is always a chance with this team. Uh-huh. And I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most this weekend is there is a chance that we could go into Lexington and win. Yeah. And apparently, Tyler talked about the source, the Lexington news source earlier in the interview. Even they think we got a chance.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about position groups. They said that we had a better linebacker group with,
Yeah.
Theron Gaines and Aaron Swafford. They said we were even in some areas like quarterback and receiver.
Yeah. They gave a position-by-position breakdown, and the quarterback position was Kekoa Vesperis versus Cutter Boley, obviously. They were really high on Vesperis. They were talking about how he's having an All-American caliber year. So that's cool to see. Kentucky, basically a biased network that's based out of Lexington, right within their backyard, is talking about Kekoa Vesperis and is talking about him highly, too, not just mentioning him. So that's pretty cool to see. I think receivers was even. I think defensive line, offensive line went to Kentucky, running backs went to Kentucky, tight ends to Kentucky, but the linebackers was the best one.
Yeah.
We were in favor on that one because of Swafford and Gaines, and I truly believe this is probably a bias on my part. I think that's the best linebacker duo in the country.
Absolutely.
In the FCS.
Yeah. I would say there might be some, guys at one of these big, SEC schools, Big 12, Big 10, somewhere along that might be a, better duo, but there ain't a duo that just works better at their level.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of FCS, they are dominant. They are absolute monsters in the backfield.
Yeah. Well, I meant when I said I truly think they're the best duo in the FCS at linebacker because they can both do a lot of different things. Aaron Swafford is a field general. He's in the backfield a lot. He can cover in zone. He can tackle you in between the tackles. You know what I'm saying? He can play the run. Theron Gaines is one of the most versatile defenders in the nation. I mean, he's a serious weapon for Coach Mumau in this defense because he can rush the passer. He can drop back into coverage. He's a good, sure tackler. He led the team in tackles this past Saturday. So he can do it all. You've seen him do it all. He's had a pick six, a fumble recovery for touchdown. He's had a bunch of sacks. He's had all kinds of tackles for loss. I mean, pass breakups. I mean, the guy, he's everywhere.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster. And, we'll talk about him a little later.
For sure.
A little foreshadow.
A little bit, maybe
but
so.
Let's talk about Kentucky,
Yeah, they ain't no good.
No, they're not. In terms of SEC, now they're getting hot.
They are.
That's the bad thing. They were bad earlier in the year. I mean, you talk about getting punched in the face. We got punched in the face against Gardner-Webb. Kentucky, earlier this year, first few games of the season, they got mugged in an alleyway.
Got drugged through the mud, and stepped on and kicked on. Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah.
But they're starting to build a little confidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good thing. But Tech can overcome it. It's gonna be a weird matchup because Tech, they've been hot all season.
Uh-huh.
They recently got a tight game against Gardner-Webb. They've had a slow game against Eastern Illinois, but they've been hot all year.
Yeah.
Kentucky was bad at the start of the year, and they're starting to build momentum. So we're about to see two teams with a lot of momentum go head on.
Yeah.
It's about who can come out the quickest and make an impact. Are we going to be able to get into Kentucky's backfield and sack Cutter Boley? Are we gonna are they gonna drop one deep on us and 75-yard touchdown or something like that, start the game? What's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a game that gets decided pretty early on. Either Kentucky's going to come out and they're going to have it, or Kentucky's going to come out and they're not going to have it, and Tech's going to take advantage of it.
Well, you want to start fast. You want to start fast if you're Tennessee Tech. As far as Kentucky goes, as far as what the fans can expect to see, Cutter Boley is their quarterback. He has gotten an immense amount of confidence in these past 2 or 3 weeks, thanks to Tennessee and Auburn and Florida. Let him have it, basically. Yeah. Kendrick Law is a problem. He's a really big playmaker. He's kind of like their Trey Holloway. They use him in a lot of different ways. They can throw it to him. They can give him the ball on a jet sweep. They can throw a screen to him. He's a problem. I really like their running back duo, Seth McGowan and Dante Dowdell. They both had around 100-ish yards against Florida.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a big, interesting matchup to look out for. Tennessee Tech's run defense that's been good so good all year. Can they go to Lexington and have that same success against a problem school like SEC opponent Kentucky?
Yeah.
We'll see.
That is going to be the biggest question. But all I know is that if they beat Kentucky, someone's getting a haircut.
Me? Is it me?
I think it might be you.
I don't think it's me.
I think it is you. Let's play that clip.
What clip you talking about?
Oh, just a clip from a few weeks ago. Not a lot of people watched that episode.
Didn't think y'all remembered that.
But I remember, and I'm bringing it up now. So let's run that clip.
We'll run it. If they beat Kentucky, I want to do something special for the team because that would be the biggest win in Tennessee Tech football history. If they do that, which I think is possible, I'll buzz it. I'll buzz it off.
That's insane.
I will buzz it off, and I like I said, I don't want to do that either. But yeah. I'm probably going to regret that.
Honestly, It would be worth it to watch Tennessee Tech beat Kentucky.
If they beat Kentucky, I'll gladly buzz the hair. I'm gonna go ahead and shake on it with my partner here. That's a solid art. That's a solid deal right there.
Absolutely.
And we're back. Didn't remember saying that. I think that's AI. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't think so.
Regardless, I'll stand by it. You know what I mean? I'll stand by it. If Tech beats Kentucky, I'll buzz the hair off. If they lose, I get to choose whatever their style I want.
Yeah.
But if they win, I'll buzz it off. I think that'd make for great content.
It would.
Not gonna lie.
Hopefully we get to record that.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice little segment in the show.
That'd be hilarious, though.
It would. It'd be good. But he's getting a haircut either way this week. Either he's gonna have a nice, clean, fresh cut, or we're buzzing it off. I vote buzz.
Me too.
But that relies on Tennessee Tech beating Kentucky.
Yeah.
Which they have a chance to do, and that's the most important thing heading into this Saturday.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's a good time to segment into Dude of the Week. I like both picks this week.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. What do you got for Dude of the Week?
My
I already mentioned it.
My Dude of the Week, I got to go with the defensive anchor, De'Ron Gaines.
Yep.
11 tackles, 2 sacks, fumble recovery for a touchdown. That's a great game.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic game. And he's been having fantastic games all season. I think he's won it at least, I know he's won it at least once. He might have won it twice by now. I'm not sure, but he's this week. Repeats aren't always bad. He deserves it.
Yeah, you can't not say De'Ron Gaines for at least one of these Dude of the Weeks because he's the OVC Defensive Player of the Week. That's back-to-back weeks. Tech's had the OVC Defensive Player of the Week. We had Mo LaPierre the week before, and now De'Ron Gaines. He set the tone early. He got a sack first play of the game, and he was in the backfield all day long. He was making plays everywhere. He just flies around with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. That's a guy who Kentucky's going to seriously have to game plan for.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. For my Dude of the Week, I went a little unorthodox, but I think it makes sense. I think he's very more than deserving of it. I went with Maury Sullivan, and I'll tell you why. He led the team in receiving yards. He had that crazy play on the sideline where he went up and caught it over the defender and scored off of that play. I mean, that was one of the best catches I've seen all year like in college football. I think it just was. It was a heck of a play by him. He did have a couple drops, a couple of like touchdown catching drops, but the way I see it is if you ask Randy Moss, you ask Jerry Rice, have you ever dropped a football before? They're going to say, yeah, I have. That's just football. It happens. Every good receiver has dropped a pass or two.
All of the greats drop at least a couple.
Exactly.
Except maybe Larry Fitzgerald.
I don't
think he ever dropped one.
Well, he dropped at least one.
Yeah.
But the sun was in his eyes at the time of the catch, both of them. So that could be a factor. But I think Maury has been consistent all year. And I think he deserves at least one Dude of the Week before it's all said and done. So I chose this week because I think he's starting to really emerge as a serious threat offensively that, again, Kentucky's going to have to game plan for.
Absolutely. And Dude of the Week, it's not a statistical award. If it was a statistical award, that would be just – I don't think it'd have an impact. It's kind of like the Heisman, It's kind of losing its flair.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude of the Week is about the guy who makes the most impact. Guy that does things the right way, does his job. He did that. I think it's a perfect pick for Dude of the Week.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's a good podcast episode. What do you think, Adam?
I think for take 3, that's as good as it's going to get. If we go to take 4, ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do if we have to do 4 takes. But anyway, hopefully this take works. Hopefully it is smooth and everything goes well. If that's the case, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Thank you to Chima for being on the show. It was a great interview. Good luck this week against Kentucky, players, coaches watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.